The passing of Migos rapper Takeoff was emotional for all fans and family of the rapper. With the help of social media and witnesses at the scene, more suspects continue to be arrested as the feds revealed more evidence on the passing of Takeoff, pointing us in a direction of how he truly passed away. With this new evidence, DJ Akademiks stated this during an interview 2 weeks ago.
Quavo says, you know what? I'm gonna walk off. He's like, yo, let's go. But I'm gonna also be honest, he says something that I think could have incited the whole thing. Not that necessarily is his fault. He says, man, let me get on it. Let me get up on out of here before I hurt somebody. And when you think about all these situations, like Quavo says that, I think that sets in motion, granted, the argument set everything in motion, but him walking away and saying that, I think someone acted on behalf of whoever he was arguing with. The guy with the either seen someone else brandish, he pulled out his, Quavo's already out the mix, so he's back there, the melee's here, Takeoff is still in the middle.
Now, once DJ Akademiks gave insight on Takeoff's passing, with Quavo's actions at the time at the Houston Mall, eyewitnesses at the scene actually had a very similar message about Takeoff that Quavo had during his speech at his funeral.
You always with me, and we did everything together. Since we was kids, you been by my side, looking up at me with them eyes, same eyes you got as my sister, waiting on me to make the next move. Then you followed up right behind me. You always made sure I did it first so you can do it right with me. You never competed with me. We was always on the same team because you hated playing against me because I always played too hard or too rough. And I can hear mama saying, not too rough, son. Remember our first dream was to be tag team partners in the WWE. We fell in love with WWE wrestling. We had every...
With the video being cut short, Quavo said this after that original message. Takeoff is super quiet though, quietest in the room, but paid attention to everything going on in the room. He's always been like that. Nothing ever really bothered Take, and he didn't bother anybody. Now remember that part of the message as it relates to a witness's statement that I'll be sharing here soon. Now the new evidence released on Takeoff's passing revealed a list of Instagram stories piecing together a day of events for the two Migos rappers Quavo and Takeoff, alongside a family friend named MigoBands, who also happens to be a suspect in the passing of Takeoff. Now, 10 hours before the Takeoff passing, his day started with Quavo and MigoBands meeting up with the driver of their vehicle for the day. The four individuals were invited to a Halloween party hosted by J Prince Jr. This party consisted of many music reps, businessmen, and even street members in the area. Before arriving, Quavo and Takeoff made rounds around their area, meeting up with friends and family for the Halloween holiday. A few hours then passed, and an Instagram story showed Quavo, Takeoff, MigoBands, as well as the driver of their vehicle, heading over to the J Prince party located in Houston, Texas. The Halloween party start with Quavo and Takeoff performing a few songs at the beginning of the event. Once their performance was over, the Migos rappers and MigoBands were then seen relaxing in an after-party room located at the back of the event. Sources claim that only selected members at the party were invited to the after-party room, as in the after-party room were people playing games of dice in exchange for cash, many people discussing business as well as music reps doing business with other new Atlanta artists. Now, in this after-party room is where three suspects of the passing of Takeoff meet. The number one suspect has just been arrested for the passing of Takeoff. As DJ Akademiks tweeted, police arrested man for the passing of Takeoff. His name is Patrick Clark. Sources in Texas say that he's commonly known as DJ Pat, with his mugshot included. DJ Akademiks also then tweeted, according to court documents, Patrick Clark, aka DJ Clark, applied for an emergency passport days after the passing of Takeoff. When police arrested him, he had large amounts of cash on him. Prosecutors claim that he's a flight risk for bond, so he will remain in jail unless his $2 million bond gets released. Now, the number two suspect suspect is Cameron Joshua, as it was reported by Rap TV, and I quote, "Just in, Takeoff's passing suspect Cameron Joshua, aka Lil Cam the Fifth, has been arrested on firearm charges." So while in the after party room where Quavo was seen playing dice in exchange for cash, it was at this moment where Quavo noticed something. In a video screenshot, Quavo was giving suspect number 2, Cameron, a very ugly look in the room, almost as if Quavo knew that Cam was going to be up to no good at this party. As in this photo, Cameron is seen wearing the yellow hoodie with Quavo giving him a direct ugly look. Cameron wore a yellow sweater this entire night. It's important to remember that. Now, after the event was complete, sources at the scene claim that people that were playing dice in the after party room were not just done yet, as they wanted to continue playing. This is when a lump sum of around 30 to 50 people were then seen walking around a Houston, Texas mall until they stumbled across a bowling alley called 810 Billiards and Bowling Houston. With this lump sum of people standing out front of the bowling alley, they created a massive circle to continue playing their games of dice. Reports state that Migos rapper Quavo was one of the 50 men playing dice, but that is false, as Quavo only played dice at the after party room. With Quavo standing and watching others play games of dice, Takeoff is seen around 7 feet to the side of Quavo. With Quavo standing and watching people play, a mystery man then starts walking towards Quavo. Getting beside Quavo, he begins mocking Quavo for the way that he was playing during a celebrity basketball game just a few weeks prior. As video footage then revealed that Quavo was seen arguing back and forth with this individual. With arguing going on for a few minutes, Quavo is seen saying, "Man, I don't care about no basketball game." And with tension starting to rise in the area, here's where suspect number 2, Cameron Joshua, comes into play. Video footage revealed Cameron in the yellow sweater beginning to walk up to Quavo. Making his way through the pile of people, Cameron is seen standing right beside Quavo, sitting there with his hands inside of his yellow sweater pocket. And with the yelling beginning to escalate even more, MigoBands, who's allegedly street security for Quavo and Takeoff, needs to figure out what's going on with Quavo, so he's also seen on video footage walking towards the group, making his way through everyone, and also standing on the other side of Quavo. Now you can tell this is MigoBands from the shirt he's wearing, Gucci bag, single diamond chain, and the snapback hat, as he was wearing this exact outfit earlier in the vehicle on Instagram. Now MigoBands makes his way through the group. He stands beside Quavo, having suspect number 2, Cameron, on one side of Quavo, with MigoBands on the other. Suspect number 1, being Patrick Clark, is then allegedly seen by eyewitnesses making his way through the pile of people. He stands no much further than Cameron, almost beside him, with everyone sitting in practically a triangle around Quavo, and with the tensions beginning to rise, Quavo says, "You know what, I'm done with you." He turns his back and begins to walk from out of the pile of people. Now when Quavo turns his back and begins walking away, the mystery man he was arguing with then swings towards Quavo. With Takeoff seeing this, he begins to walk forward and practically stand where Quavo was standing originally. With the 3 suspects still standing in a triangle now around Takeoff, it's unknown at this moment who rose their firearm first and used it, but allegedly eyewitnesses claim that it was MigoBands. So with MigoBands pulling the firearm from out of his jeans pocket, this causes Cameron to pull out his, as well as Patrick Clark to pull out his. And with everyone standing in such a close triangle shape, one of the 3 men used their firearm first, causing the other 2 to as well use theirs back. With firearms being used in such a little area, this is where Takeoff was sadly affected by 2 strays, as he was just trying to figure out what Quavo got himself into. With the firearms being used, the 50 lump sum of people are all seen sprinting out of the mall, running through the exit doors and hopping over benches and chairs. They were all ducking for cover. Meanwhile, sadly, Takeoff is seen on the floor of the mall with Quavo standing beside him. Now, sources mention that this is Quavo's fault, but don't listen to anything. Eyewitnesses say that Takeoff was affected by 2 strays as he was standing there trying to figure out what Quavo got himself into. But all while the firearms were being used, Quavo saw Takeoff get affected and he stood his ground, stood right beside Takeoff with all of the firearms being used. He didn't flinch or even attempt to leave Takeoff. He stood there with him all the way until the end. Now, the sudden passing of Takeoff made many rappers react, starting with Boosie, who had this to say.
R.I.P. Takeoff, bro. Shaking my head, man. Humble. Bad Music Syndicate won't show QC, all the family. We sending some prayers and love for y'all. All Takeoff family, Quavo, Offset, all y'all. Bad Music Syndicate won't, send their prayers out. This rap whack, bro. I ain't lying, bro. We targets now, bro. We used to be heroes, Everybody want us out of here, bro. R.I.P. Takeoff.
This then even led into Master P giving his reaction.
And hip hop is too young. Rest in peace to Takeoff. My condolences goes out to Takeoff family, Quavo, man, all my soldiers and soldier reps. Hip hop has turned to the new streets. We used to be in the streets trying to get into hip hop, which is crazy. When you walk out your house, tell your loved ones you love them, because you never know who might not come back. And no matter how old or young you are, it's crazy. I love y'all soldiers and salute to everybody. Let's save the next generation.
If you are a Takeoff fan, make sure you leave a like on the video. I'm curious how many fans are watching today. It's been District Trending and I'm out. Peace.